Violet order them all. Did you ever hear people go sweet, sweet, sweet on piccolo? No? Well, you missed the tree, call this melody sweet all the time that couldn't be. Why didn't hit the high note?
All right. Hey, Will Roberts, of course, the basics of magic. Or let me just check here. I'm checking all this stuff. Had a little bit of a technical issue today. We are live here on all of the different streams. Feel like I need a booster seat, like I'm getting a haircut, because I'm a little low. So you should know that today is a very exciting show. I'm really excited because we're crawling across the water, reaching across the water, and we are very excited to have a very cool group on today. Well, it's one person, but they're a group because they're like a factory, because they're called Factory of Magic and factoryofmagic.com. And Dean Williamson, one of the main guys. I got him. I think it's like 4 in the morning there in the UK, so I've managed to get him to stay awake to be able to do the show. Hey, again, Will Robertson. Of course, this show is brought to you. I'm going to move up a little bit here. This show is brought to you, of course, by the Basics of Magic, or more importantly, Zucchini's Tricks and Things. And I show you my cup, but it's the logo for the magic shop that I used to work for 10 years or so on and off is in green. And as you can see, I've steamed my curtains for the occasion. They're very nice and very curtainy looking. But the logo is Zucchini's Tricks and Things. It's my favorite mug, but it doesn't really work real well, except for the magic wand, which you can see in white. In any case, that's how we do it nowadays. You know, like black art, if you know magic and black art now, this is like green screen art. So at any point, the elephant that I painted, it's behind green, you can't see it. It's going to come out of the green and it's going to appear and you're going to go, wow, Will, you're amazing. So in any case, the Zucchini's Tricks and Things, if you go to Basics of Magic, if you're interested in learning how to do magic, that is the place to go, because what I've done is I've put together a lot of the stock in the magic shop, and I have put it in there. So if you're interested in buying magic, by the way, coming up soon, we're going to have a magic bag, which will have the Zoomfield Follies logo, zucchinis on it, basics of magic, and every month I'm planning on trying to, put these out, and you'll be in a club where you get 3 or 4 or 5 new tricks, and then at the end of the month we're going to have a Zoom like this, and you'll be able to learn from some of the top people. And again, our good friend Mike Powers will be on doing his thing and giving away some magic stuff, some tutorials, and so on. So I'm very excited by all this. Lots of great stuff, because if you're interested in learning magic, there are a billion places you could go. But we're trying to do this something a little bit more special for people who are starting out, because it can be daunting. I was on Facebook yesterday. All right, this is what I do when I'm nervous, which I'm not really nervous, but I do this anyway, just because I get so I want to handle something, cards or coins or something. And anyway, so I'm swinging my guns. But basically, the cool thing about the basics of magic and the philosophy is that, here we are in quarantine. If you're here in the United States, and I'm sure other places abroad, then you're thinking, hey, I'd like to learn how to do magic, but I can't get to a magic store. So with that being said, we've created a Basics of Magic sort of catalog thing. So we'll talk about that more later on. Very excited also to tell you that we're going to introduce our guest in just a moment here. I'm going to put my glasses on because that's the screen and I need to see it. But let me just show you a little something. Someone asked me on all of the different blogs and the different things I said. They said, "Can you show us the world record thing you did?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why not?" So here it is, a little break, and then when we come back, we're going to introduce the guest. This is my world record attempt, which I got for gun handling, and it was done at Calico Ghost Town in sort of like almost to Arizona. It was 107 degrees. I started spinning my guns, and it was so hot that what happened was that I lost the grip on it, and it broke one of the guns. So I had one more chance left. Cliffhanger, and here's what happened.
Round here, thank you. Let me just get back into character. We've rounded up a rootin', tootin', rope swinging, gunslinging bandit, and he's got freaking records in his sights. Can someone shut that crow up? They've got some cliched cowboy staring to do. I'm not quite sure you've got it, Al.
Hi, partner. I heard you got some officially amazing skills. That's because he's Will Roberts, one of the most highly skilled and trained cowboys in the West. Just look at the moves. Later on, Will's going to be trying a record with these specially adapted safe performance guns. But first, he's going for a record involving rope. This type of rope is called a lasso, and it was originally designed to help the cowboys catch and move cows, hence where the cowboys get their name. Mind the camera, Will. Honestly, the things I get roped into on this show.
All right, so that was the world record attempt, and here I am sitting. By the way, if you're on Instagram, I'm looking at it right now. Click on the profile. Click on the profile link, and you'll see the live show. We are streaming on 7 or 8 different places right now as we speak. Of course, on Facebook, on my Facebook, on which is Actor Will Roberts, and then on Zucchini's Tricks and Things Facebook, and then also on my Twitter. Someone's typing. Someone's sending a message, or Morse code. Get me out of here. Anyway, so we're all over the place, and then afterwards, if you want, you can see it on YouTube because it's actually broadcasting right now live on YouTube. Also, if you have a comment, you want to say something, you can simply just send us a note, and I will see it come up, and we can actually highlight it on the screen. I think if you double click the comment on the screen, you can certainly see it. If anybody's out there watching it, we'll say hello to you or whatever the case may be. So without further ado, I'm very excited. I did forget, however, to get the video installed for my guest, but I'm going to bring in the guest. I'm very excited. Here he comes. Woohoo! All right.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, wait, I have the wrong screen. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. I put your stage name. After all that work we did, we had all this work we did, and now, hold on a second. I love this. Hold on a second. He's like, wait a minute. Don't do anything yet. We're going to give you a drum roll and all that other fun stuff. I'm just looking for the correct name of doing this. Let me see if I can do this here. Don't leave me. He's like, oh, wait a minute now. Dean, where are you? Dean. This is what we call live stream theater. And with that being said, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to rip that off, and then I'm going to go like this. This is the cool thing, though. This is why it's like magic theater, because I can go like this and actually put his correct name in. Wait a second. There is a noise for that, by the way, just so you know. All right. Welcome to the show, Dean Williamson from the UK and factoryofmagic.com. What's up, brother?
Thanks for having me on, Will. That's perfect. We could have teed that up nice, and I could have clicked my fingers and the name could have changed. But actually, you know what? I'll take the jingle. The jingle's just as good, my friend.
Yeah, wow. Goodness. I forgot about that. You could have done something magical and I could have made some sort of like poof show up or something. But hey, welcome to the show. Very excited to have you on the show. And really kind of excited because you guys are you're doing it right. I went to the website back a little bit because, of course, one of our segments that's on later on is, of course, Faust, and he is one of your people that you rep. And if you're interested in booking anybody, please go to factoryofmagic.com. But your site is like, what do we say in America? It's dope.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, we like it. It's good. It's simple and straightforward and kind of exemplifies what the factory is all about, really.
Yeah, that's the thing is that simplicity seems to be that although it's the key, most people haven't quite figured out that or they lost the key and they're going to the
Maybe.
hardware store to make another key, a duplicate, because it is extremely simple. You just kind of go, oh, I get it. I go here, we do that, and boom, you can book someone. Can I ask you one of the first questions I want to ask is, how did you all, did you actually start this, honestly? Did you start this when COVID happened and you went, oh, wait, we better put this up because we are not able to do in person stuff? Or did you already have this in place?
Perfect. Yeah, so it's the former. I set the Factory of Magic up during just as the first lockdown came, kind of at the beginning of March. The key element really for that, because it's something I wanted to do for a while, but I think the key element for that was because I was able to network with everybody quickly.
Right.
Everybody was able to message because we weren't going anywhere, so it was a perfect time to kind of communicate and network with everybody, and that's how Chris and I got talking because of everything that happened. So yeah, there are some rays of light that have come out of this situation. The Factory of Magic certainly is one.
Yeah, when you say that you connected with Chris, I'm not surprised because Chris is a branding and networking monster.
It
He's
really
like,
is. It really is.
if you want someone, he's like a Tupperware salesman. Which, if you have to be kind of older to get that, that's where people like invited all their friends to parties and they lost their friends because they kept having invited to these lingerie or Tupperware parties. Chris is that guy. Chris is the guy that if you really want to know someone, you'll ask Chris, and most of the time he'll know it because he's out there 24/7. He's actually in the wings right now. He's just like, I'm going to hang out, but without really being too much funnier about Chris, he's a pretty amazing Faust magician and performer, and so I'm not surprised he found you and you found him. Let me ask you another thing. Did you obviously I watched a lot of the demos and I awesome stuff. Did you really implement the live streaming or the zooming shows, the virtual shows at a certain point, or was that something that honestly was that in your sites already that you wanted to do virtual?
I would love to say I was that forward thinking, but I can't really lay claim to that. I guess for a lot of us, it's kind of a needs must, if you will. But actually, the Factory of Magic itself, as a talent agency, started off by being just a live public show, kind of like the work that you do here as well, Will. We got magicians from around the world, performers. I'm not sure how many magicians you have watching, but FISM. So we had lots of FISM
Yeah.
winners, lots of guys from the state. Yeah, and it was a public show. This was before we knew we could charge people for it. So
Well, if you're charging people and people are showing up, then you have something on most of the people because nowadays there's been an overflow of virtual shows, and in essence, what we've learned at doing the Zoomfield Follies is that you should give it away free and hope that your friends have the generosity to tip you because there is so much out there. And again, trying to this is another good quality point is that trying to stand out amongst the crowd. That's why I had you on the
Mhm.
behind the scenes here, the pre-production here for about 20 minutes getting it set because the fact of the matter is that I wanted to make sure that it looked as pretty as it looks because
Yeah.
when you have a quality and magic is a big thing. I mean, I don't think you
Mhm.
can come on magic, although you see it on TikTok, Instagram. I call it crotch magic, where everybody does their magic like this.
It really
It's
is.
like you realize what you're doing, right? Anyway, but the point is that we wanted to step up the game. Chris and I have talked a lot, and other people. And the fact is that looking at your site, I knew right off the bat. I'm like, you're legit. You gotta, we gotta have you on, because when you go to it's not gonna be like you're doing Zooms from your bathroom. And with all due respect, I know people can do what they can do because we're in COVID, but
Sure.
I make the
Mhm.
joke all the time. This is my bedroom. And again, folks, if you enjoy the show, please let me know in the comments so I can tell my wife I perform well in the bedroom. Wait, hold on. I have a summary for that. So
Love
don't
it.
interrupt here. Anyway, so fact of the matter is that I appreciate all that you're doing. So let's talk a little bit more about your lineup. Now, something very exciting that I saw, which is cool. So if you are a person that really digs magic, and most people do because it's up here now, it goes like this. I've been doing it since
Mm.
1981, and it goes like this and gets popular and so on. And right now it's popular. With that being said, you're expanding. I have a demo from Santa Monica in a show that you're going to be doing August of
Very much
2021.
fingers crossed.
I've got everything crossed, and
Thank you.
and hopefully it won't all be like this. But that's exciting. How did you do that? Did you just say, you know what? I think the Americans need some real magicians.
We'd never say that. I respect every magician.
Good,
Just to
good, because I
clarify
just
that,
cut you off.
you, you said those words, well, not me. So again, the show that we're coming to do in Santa Monica is in August next year. Fingers crossed. It's not that long away. That came about because of the relationships that we that built up. So just to kind of take a step back a little. So the show that we used to put out on Facebook every Tuesday and Thursday. I had to remember now. It's not that long ago, but the year's just been crazy, hasn't it? So it was called the Lockdown Magic Event. Out the back of that became the Factory of Magic. But whilst doing the Lockdown Magic Event, just a show to get magicians on for the public, I met Chris Herron and Jonathan Molo.
Yep.
And we've become really good friends. And we talked about coming and put a show on in the States. Not many British magicians, performers have done that, really. I think you've had like Darren Brown down the years.
Yeah.
I can't really think of many others. Maybe Wayne Dobson going back to the 90s in Vegas. I know we had a show there. So it's quite unusual. It's been a dream of mine to not only running the talent agency, I'm a stage mind reader as well. So Rick and I are going to come over and perform 2 dates, and let's see where it goes. But yeah, I'm just so excited to come and share our act and how we perform with you guys. So yeah, and apparently you guys love British accents, so you might hate them. Well, I don't know, but
I'll say two things on what you just said. Number one is that you're a stage mind reader. Does anybody ever say to you, mind your own business?
I've had them all. Well, I might not have been performing as long. Should have waited. I might not have been performing as long as you have, but I've definitely had those.
And then the other question is that, the other statement I'll make is, as a professional actor of 100 years, I will say that I'm really sick and tired of everybody becoming a top A-listing actor and they all have British accents.
I know, what's with that?
I know. I just feel like I should go to auditions and say, well, talk to my mate over here. But every time I do it, it sounds like I'm from Australia. It's all right. They'll take any of them. Yeah, see, don't mess with me, dude. I'm the guy with the gun. Okay. All right. So, hey, we're going to take a small break. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more with Dean Williamson and, of course, factoryofmagic.com. Go check it out during the break. You don't need to watch this. This is a promo. Let me bring you into this little promo that I'm about to do. It's very exciting. It looks just like there it is. There it is. The promo that I'm gonna show you right now is a new show that myself, Mike Powers, is the opening close-up act, and of course, opening up for me, my good friend Faust, which I'm very excited. I saw him at a show last night again. I never try to miss his shows, and the fact is that he is always so methodical and thoughtful and whimsical in what he does. So very excited. But here's a promo I shot in my bedroom. And anyway, but take a look at it because it's about the new show. Hang tight. Will Roberts here, the Honest Huckster. Today I want to tell you about a wonderful, amazing, outstanding, colorful, new variety virtual extravaganza vaudeville show. Say that 10 times fast. Anyway, this is a one-of-a-kind show where there are 3 performers. there's an opening act, Mike Powers, who is an award-winning magician. And, by the way, he's our close-up opening act. He's amazing, engaging, and just a darn nice guy. Then we have Faust. Faust is an award-winning magician as well, who does an amazing style of magic with pantomime. The wall, the ball, all your favorites. He's also an amazing professional magician. Color, lots of fun, and more. And then, of course, there's me, the honest huckster. I'm the variety part of the show. Former Cirque du Soleil act, a 2-time Guinness World Book of Records holder for trick roping, gun spinning, whips, and also, I'm a professional magician. I'm the medicine show magician, the huckster, the hustler. Check for your wallet. Your customized show will be a virtual extravaganza, whether it's a party, a birthday party, an anniversary, or a corporate event. We can bring our show to the comfort of your own Zoom. I get it. Zoom, anyway. Oh, and once you see our Zoom studios, they're amazing. You'll see the beautiful graphics we have, overlays, and we can even customize the show and brand it with your logo. This way your audience feels that it is a show that you have created just for them. So bring a touch of magic and excitement and vaudeville to your next virtual gathering. Just click on the link below and let's have some fun. Now, I gotta get out of here. Okay, well, guess what? We're back on the show, and I thought I'd bring in our good friend, of course, Faust, to hang out. Wait, can you say hello, Faust? Oh, I can't hear you, Faust. Hold on. There you are. Can I hear you? Say hello. Okay, that's what we call latency. So if you can't hear Chris, it's because I think we have a little delay. Hey.
How about now? How about?
There you go. What happened?
Okay, perfect. I was on mute, Will.
The quote of 2020.
Yeah, that's what happens, on eCam.
Hey.
Anyways, pleasure to meet you, Dean, once again. And Will, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So I thought I would open this up to have all three of us having a conversation and maybe throw some questions really quickly at Dean and see if there's anything that you wanted to say about, what he does. I mean, you're one of his lineup here. I want to say here in the United States, but that actually is not true because now when people say that they're available from a virtual standpoint, it could be anywhere in the world. So throw a question at him, buddy.
Well, first off, the Factory of Magic, has a pretty big strong. So I encourage people to just and look up what Dean and his company offers. And if you didn't know, Will, Dean does some illusions with some of the in Factory of Magic, and I really appreciate it when it comes to that. Dean, my question to you is: you mentioned that you are a mentor. Describe what mentalism is.
Good boy. Wait, hold on a second. I'm trying to take care of this. Okay. Wow. Vocal effects with visual effects. All right. So I'm sorry. Repeat your question.
Well, I was wondering, Dean, for those people out there who don't know what mentalism is, how would you describe that genre of magic?
Sure. So mentalism is a very vague term. Even magicians can't really decide on what it actually means. But there's different strands of it, like kind of most of the magical arts, I guess. If you see a magician, you may see him performing sleight of hand, with coins, or it could be a change act or illusion act, something like that. And mentalism is no different. So my brand of mentalism is known as mind reading, psychological techniques. These kinds of things are trying to get inside people's head. My stage show is all about influence and how we influence people, and we do it subconsciously, and all the fun you can have it, things like that. So mentalism really, and it's probably a bit cliche to say, but it's about creating a connection with somebody. And I guess you kind of do that anyway, but with mind reading mentalism, it has to be like that because you're trying to get in somebody's mind. So it's about reading their thoughts and what can you do with those thoughts to make them quite entertaining. But you can take it to the other extreme, because Uri Geller and fork bending, that would be classed as mentalism, because it's still using your mind. So it's all about kind of what's in the head.
Yeah, Max Maven and some of the other great people. One thing I'll
Yeah.
say is, it seems like what you're doing, and I would say a mentalist nowadays, because I saw that TV program last night about the documentary of social media, and it is
Mm.
about, the likes and making people like things. And they mentioned that magicians kind of have a one-upmanship on what's happening with social media, because it's the same sort of thing that, sleight of hand and, misdirection.
Yeah.
So interesting that, I mean, do you mention it all when you do your act, any kind of modern social media or anything like that, or influence of online?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, you could. I've had occasions where I've kind of predicted something and put messaging up on social media to kind of integrate it. But it's, yeah, I think social media is untapped, or certainly with kind of tip of the iceberg. We do, but then again, we're streaming on social media all the time, so we're using it to perform. So I guess we have kind of embraced it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have embraced it.
If I may,
Mm.
Will, I want to bring up that Dean he shares an interest that I have, and that's philosophy of magic. And Dean, could you share a couple of things? I know you're a published writer. Could you share a few of those things where we could reference and find it?
Yeah, sure. So I have just completed my thesis. It's a posh essay, because people say, "What thesis?" It's a posh essay, really. But it's less opinionated, more backed up with academic fact. It's probably the best way than I can explain it. So my recent thesis was about performance and performance in mentalism, and I make the argument that more than any other strand of magic, performance has to become first and foremost in your thoughts and how you construct your routines. Because for some people, mentalism can be quite boring, and I'm okay with that, because some people want to see flashy things, which is great, or they want to see what you do with a rope wheel, which is just incredible, by the way. And I noticed that was on the BBC, that video showed before as well.
Yeah, interesting note on that is that they say in there that it's a modified replica, not real, but they know they're real. But I guess in the UK, you can't say that you have a real gun on TV, so
Right.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's it.
whatever.
So, but yeah, to some people, it's not that interesting. But I guess those guys wouldn't kind of come to my show, if you will. So yeah, I've recently completed this thesis on performance theory, which should be going out into the magic community. Now, I could have turned this into a book, and sold it, but I didn't want to do that, because I feel that, because in the age of the 1 minute Instagram video, I feel we're in danger of not passing on the foundations of our art to the younger generation, because it's quick, it's flashy, it's about what's the latest trick, things like this, things using mobile phones, whatever it may be. But the greatest entertainers are the ones that bring performance to the table, and that doesn't really matter whether it's mentalism or magic or an act like yourself, Chris. The performance has to be key. At the end of the day, we're entertainers. We're there to entertain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, and I say this all the time to performers of all the different disciplines I do, is that you can do 6,000 things and different sleights and different whatevers, but the fact is that if you do five of them well and you entertain people, you're going to stand out in the crowd, because you're not trying to, again, there's a common term called a magician's magician. We get it. You're amazing. You do that. You do all these different, sleights, and the magicians go, "Oh, you fooled us." But are you entertaining? I used to know a lot of magicians that were like, in San Jose. This guy was amazing, but he was the most boring performer I've ever seen in my life. And what's it about? Is it about being technically amazing? Well, maybe at a convention, but is it
Yeah,
when someone's paying the dollar for your show? Don't know.
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so true, isn't it? I mean, the flip side of it as well is you can take, so very famous magician from the UK, Paul Daniels. Um, yeah, everybody knows him. I always try and say, everybody everybody knows Paul Daniels. He's classic, isn't he? And he would always talk about that you could buy a $1 or £1 trick, and you could make it amazing, make a 10-minute act out of it, because it comes down to the performer and how entertaining you are. Can you speak to the audience on a level? Can you connect with them? How do you walk in the room, and where do you stand on stage? All these little elements and things like this, it kind of adds to that act. So I try and write about how we can improve our performance, and also talk about it as much as I can. My friends in the magic community know I'm obsessed with performance theory, but it's so important, isn't it? We can talk about tricks all day. It's fine, the latest and greatest, and what Chris Angel did on his special, or what David Copperfield does in his show in Vegas, or something like that.
Yeah.
But we have to talk about the performance as well. It's important. I just feel we're losing a little bit of that. I don't know kind of what your views are on this, but
Well, I said it that crotch magic, and it's the truth. A lot of the younger generation goes like, "Look, I can change a card 900 different ways," and I'm like, "That's awesome, but can you actually perform?" And they don't care to, a lot of them, and it's like, and cardistry is awesome, but I'd like to see it with a trick and a presentation.
Yeah.
Chris is
completely
probably one of
agree.
the best examples I can give that he can take a trick. Like I watched him do my favorite rope trick yesterday, and I watched the count, and I'm like, wow, he's like taking his time. He's what we call milking it. But with all due respect, he's doing it in a very theatrical way, which makes me want to watch. So, you can do 55,000 tricks. You can do one in a course of time and bring people to that magic place. And I agree with you on that. I don't like Instagram magic much because it's like, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Chris?
Well, yeah, thank you, Will, for that. I'm to at least notice that portion of my act. I think that's what made me gravitate towards that. We share this interest that this subject of magic is oftentimes neglected. I mean, we talk about it, but do we really apply it?
Right.
And so that's why I like chatting it up with Dean. But I want to bring up too, Dean, you just got into the Magic Circle London, and I know that is a big deal. Can you give us like a brief description of what it is, and why it is important for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've actually got it. This might not be for everybody, because I know not everybody likes tattoos, but it was that important to me that I felt the need to get it. I don't know if I can get this on camera. Get it branded on my arm. Is it going to come across? What's
Go.
going on? I can't move it in.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
I
And
know not
awesome.
that's the
everybody's into tattoos, so sorry if you're eating your lunch right now in the States. I apologize. um, yeah, I do always feel the need to show that off, and I paid for it, so I want to show it off. Um, but
yeah,
I'm just going to wait for the camera to catch up in a minute. I don't know if that's my signal.
Yeah,
Can you
there
still
was a
see me
little
okay? It's
issue
all
there.
fine?
Yep, we
I could
saw
see
it.
you. Yeah.
It's
It
all
is a
good?
little behind right now, but let me give your information social media wise so people can see this. Hang tight. Here we go. Chris, we'll come back to you in a minute. Hang tight.
Got
So
it.
if we look at this, hold on. There it is. Scoot over.
Come over.
Yeah. The Factory of Magic. You can check him out on Facebook. Of course, it's FOF Magic. And then on LinkedIn, the company is the Factory of Magic. And on Instagram, of course, .com/Factory of Magic. Check them out. They're there. What an awesome logo that is. And really appreciate having you on the show. Really want to let you know that we really appreciate you. Can come back now.
There we go. Come back.
There you go. Come back. We are having a glitchy day today. So, with all that being said, thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. And I think I'll have you on again when we're not having I don't know what kind of thing, must be having an electrical storm or something. But I appreciate your time, and we will see you around the bend or over the water or back over here. And thanks for coming on, brother.
Thank you, Will. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Be safe. Be well. All right, everybody. Well, we are glitchy, so I was going to have Chris on for his segment, but I think at this point I'm just going to say goodbye to you. And hope you have a great day, everybody. Be well, be safe, and thank you for coming on the show. We'll see you again soon.